I don't understand. Let me go on. I want to say.
I don't feel like the Doshi conversation applies here because what she was describing her preference. And if you're saying that she's describing a type of man that lacks masculinity, then that would lend to the argument.
There's an attack on straight men.
Hold on.
I'm not trying to interpret it from her.
Well,
there's an attack on strong, straight men. Period. I'm not trying to fucking read through cryptic notes about how you feel about something.
That is a fact. Okay. You are 100% correct. I told you back when we was over at Park's crib, I said, yo, you ever want to test that theory? Go search straight black man on Twitter and put it in quotes. And you went and looked and was like, oh, this is pissing me off. Like that's just been a thing.
I know, but anytime that's a thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anytime we start hearing from somebody who might share in those views, every excuse is made for them.
Every excuse
is made for them.
They start bringing up different shit that has nothing to do with the topic.
Hey, how about we just
over the year?
How about we just eliminate the excuses and say there are some people that share in the ideology that these niggas are red flags and they're dangerous and we'd rather be around a bear. That's the point of the fucking bear conversation again.
It's really not. A
man is telling you something.
Let me ask you two something. let me ask you two something as having daughters. What are the things that you
Even that's the point.
Oh my God.
Why you can't hear from a man that don't have a daughter?
Let her cook.
Can I fucking talk?
Yes, I'm sorry. And because having a daughter changed your perspective on a lot of things.
Thank you fucking very much.
Hey,
but not mine.
Ice, but wait, that is the point.
Joe.
Niggas don't need a daughter to qualify. We speaking as men.
Joe, I hear you. I'm telling you, as a man with a daughter,
we got that part.
But you can't.
We're talking about just men.
I know you yelling, but
we're just talking about men.
I understand.
We're not talking about your daughter, your mom, your sister. We got that part. This conversation started and should end with men telling you about men and the erasure of men.
Yes.
You don't need to speak to somebody with a daughter. How a man feels. Speak to a fucking man.
Look at that shit off.
Please continue.
He completely shut down everything that I put. No, because I can't respond to the Doshi thing. I can't respond to the bear thing. I can't because it all factors in. It does. My fucking argument, when you keep bringing up this bear shit, it's fucking pissing me off because you are being willfully fucking obtuse. All right, stay fucking there. You two, you have daughters.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you are teaching your daughters in terms of when they go out into the world, how to conduct themselves? Only in terms of their sense of personal safety. Who do they need to keep themselves safe from? Who? And don't just answer the question.
People. Yeah, I was gonna say the world.
Okay.
The world.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
People.
No, Mel. You asked the question, he answered it. That's not how that works. You don't ask somebody a question and then when they give you an answer, you want to have them give you the answer you want them to give you to back up your perspective. I'm not saying Mel is wrong or anything of that nature, but don't do that, Mel. I can't stand when people do that. You ask them a question. He said, what do you teach your daughters regarding personal safety when they go out into the world? People. Can you be more specific? No, people. Because I know what she wants him to say. And that's just not how a man sees it. That's not how men see it. That's how women see it, understandably. But we're gonna get to a certain point here.
He said, I get where you're trying to go with that. I'm not sitting, I'm not at that point yet, but it's not, hey, look out for men, look out for boys. No, it's look out for people.
Okay.
People are fucked up out here.
And I'm just asking you two specifically.
Wait, hold on. I have a 15-year-old daughter.
He can answer better than I
have a 15-year-old daughter. I tell her to be on the lookout for people, jealous girls, but I also tell her to be on the lookout for older men that's trying to prey on younger girls, offering rides and stuff like that. I tell her that, but that's what you learn in growing up, and that's some men do that.
No, and that is fair. Okay. And that is fucking accurate. I can tell you stories of when I was 11 and 8. We had a handyman that used to come to the house, and one day my father was just like, my parents worked, and my dad was literally like, he's coming to the house, just give him the money for the work that he did, blah, blah, blah. He came to the house, I was there alone, he was drunk, and he tried to do some shit to me. It was fucking terrifying because I'm in my own fucking house, and this is somebody that my parents fucking trusted. And he came there drunk, and it was really fucking bad. That is just one experience. There's so many more that I can talk about that happened before the age of fucking 16 years old. The reality is that you can be in the safest environment and still there will be a situation that unfolds that where you need to teach your daughters to be careful of predatory boys and men. And I'm not talking about
got you.
people.
I know.
Because shit,
Can I ask a question? Can I ask you a question?
Just wait 1 second.
The only issue, so small issue. The only small issue I have is women point out, you know, the unfortunate, unforeseen events that happen with men that do that weird shit, right? But they don't point out all the other situations that they've had with women where you also were in danger. You don't feel like you were in danger because it's a woman, but you also were in danger. And albeit it might not be with another woman, it might not be. I wouldn't even. I would again. I'm not a female, but it might to you be insignificant because it was a woman, and it might be more traumatic because it was a man. But that doesn't mean that the women incidents did not happen, and that's the thing that kind of annoys me a little bit. But we're gonna go ahead.
Anything can fucking happen.
That story about the handyman, was your dad there for that?
No, he wasn't. He was at work. It was during the day. It was like fucking noon or something like that.
Mel,
Okay, now, so hold on.
There are systematic efforts that are out there to discredit and silence.
I'm not talking.
But you have to acknowledge that too,
I'm not.
Mel, wait. Listen, you you should acknowledge the fact that there is a movement to discredit the black man.
Run that back,
to
Turbo.
discredit
The
men.
straight black man.
The straight man.
Not just black man, the straight black
Online, they're showing that women have all this power and women are in control of the home and the black men are not here to take care of their
Legislation says different.
Legislation where?
Legislation that's being passed, Roe v. Wade being overturned, the anti-abortion laws. There is literally.
We're talking about social media that's being fed to our children.
Okay.
And now if you go on here, it's always something to discredit the black man.
Mm-hmm.
You know that and I know that. So that's what the point we're getting at is that there's something that's going on. Not taking away that there's not, we know that there's predators out there. We know that there's men out there that take advantage. But there's also a lot of great men out there that take care of their family, that provide for their children, that protect the home. And that's not being highlighted anymore.
In no way, shape, or form am I fucking denying that at all. I'll highlight it as much as possible.
You don't when you say I'd rather be around a bear.
Oh my God, literally.
You don't though when you say that.
Stop, because the fucking bear is literally just a fucking extreme metaphor for the high incidence rate of fucking sexual assault against women and girls. That's it. It is a fucking metaphor. Get over it, okay? That has nothing to do with the erasure of the concept of the straight fucking. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with sexual assault.
Melyssa,
That is it. That is it. That is all. That is it. That is all.
But what does
Hold
that
up,
teach?
please let me get this one word, please. And we don't have to yell and get hostile here.
Okay,
don't have to
you're
do that.
right, but I'm very frustrated by the way
I
that
hear you.
conversation has been handled
receive
over
you.
the course of
we
months
understand
over
that, man.
here,
I receive
especially
you,
for
but a
somebody who has
man-
literally experienced it more times than I care to count.
I'm gonna say this in closing because I feel like we have rehashed the bear conversation a bunch.
That's true.
But if the bear conversation is being had through the lens of only sexual assault victims and victims of sexual violence, then you have now answered a question while erasing the rest of the field of men, good men, cornerstone men, legacy building great men. You are erasing that and answering the question through the lens of trauma and pain and horrible experiences with men. Mackie, describe what it is to be a man. Where is the confusion at? We're not talking about men that do that. We're talking about men, and men should be acknowledged.
Because the two things have nothing to fucking do with each other. Listen, all right, look, so just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
I'm done.
The idea.
Because she's not going to get it no matter what you say.
And that's facts. Hey, listen, chat. That's facts. The only men that get highlighted is men that do that weird shit. The men that we've known, the type of man that we've known all throughout history is kind of like, all right, whatever. That's just expected. So if you do that, then just keep doing it. Good for you. You know what I'm saying? When we have these discussions about men, what I notice is that the men that do weird shit actually get talked about more than actual men that, you know what I'm saying, that do what they're supposed to do. The guy that Joe's describing, they don't get discussed as much as the guys that do that weird shit. So when these conversations or these bear conversations or the Dochi conversations get put on social media, those are the things that go viral. And then what happens is people are conditioned to think that actual men, all men actually are like that in those discussions that go viral. Not the actual men that you just, and I'm not saying that to say that, you know, the normal guys need any type of recognition. It is what it is. This is what we was born to do. This is what we come from, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna do what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We gonna set ourselves up. We gonna set our families up and stuff like that. However, it's just unfortunate that in social media, that weird shit gets highlighted more than the actual real shit, the good shit.